Hi, my name is Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation, and today's topic is basically my wife has left me. What should I do? So, at the Marriage Foundation, we get messages from people asking our counselors what they should do, and it's a free service. And this topic comes up fairly often where a husband will write in, my wife has left me. 3 weeks ago, 2 months ago, even 4 months ago. And the gentlemen who write in want to know what they should do, what they can do. There's oftentimes, I miss her, things like that. So I'm going to share with you basically the reasons why women leave their husbands, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what you could do. So there's a number one reason. The number one reason is that the wife loses confidence in her husband because her husband, who she basically married for his protection, it's a biologically driven thing, starts using his power that should be used to protect her. He starts using it against her. And it could be very subtle. It could just be a stern look, a strong voice. In some rare cases, men physically abuse their wife. And the outer action is not as important, you might say, as the fact that he is using this power that he has for its opposite purpose. And this hits a woman at a very, very deep level. And she may not even go, wow, look, he should be protecting me with his strength, and instead he's using it against me. Some men think it's fine, and it isn't. They use a strong voice. They may yell at their wife. They may call the wife stupid. They may mock her, tease her, whatever. And you can't go by how she has responded to that, because women communicate from a very closed place, generally speaking. Okay, so that's the number one reason. The second big reason, and this is sort of a no-brainer, but husbands start finding other things to do rather than be with their wife. They hang out with their friends. And we hear all the time, oh, well, I've always hung out with my friends. Well, now you're married, and hanging out with your friends needs to be reduced quite a bit. You've committed to being with your family, your wife first, and your children second. And so here what happens is wives get all in when they get married. And husbands say they're all in, but they don't behave that way. And so the wife feels lonely. She doesn't feel like she's honored, respected, cared for. And so she starts looking for an exit strategy. The third thing is sort of interesting too. The third thing is some women get married to the man they're married to as a last resort. This is, in a way, the guy who will have her because her biological clock is ticking, or because she's fearful, or because she sees her friends getting married. But that one is easy to overcome if, as a husband, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing as a husband. So you might say those are the three big things. Now, the reasons that you hear, lack of intimacy, lack of communication, lack of paying attention, all of these are symptoms of what I just described now. So the question is, what can you do about it? Generally speaking, once a wife has left, she's gone. I'm just being candid. It's a very difficult thing, I know, to hear, but it's statistics that I'm relaying to you. And I want to tell you that I have tried everything I could to get women to try again after they've left, including speaking with them. When a man will come to me, my wife has left, da 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 da, I have not been successful. So you might go, well, then why are you doing this video? Well, here's why. I'm doing this video because 80% of you have children in the still being raised age, and they are still going to model themselves off of you, or off of your wife, or the interactions that you have with them. So it is still really super important that even though your wife has left, whether she comes back or not, because I still say keep trying, you really ought to think about your children and think about adjusting not just your behaviors, because behaviors are a manifestation, but your perspective. You need to change your perspective about women, about wives in particular, about men, about marriage. All of these things need to change. How do you do it? Well, you could read one of my books, but it's not strong enough, to be honest with you. And if there's any hope of saving your marriage, then it certainly won't work. You will need the men's course, and it's worth it. It really is. It's worth it. Because you may be young enough and you may be saying, I like being married, I want to get married again. You clearly don't know how. So this is what you need to do. And I know this may sound kind of heartless. I'm saying, oh, you got to look to the future. I'm just being honest with you. And I can, because I'm here in a video and you're there. When I've had to meet with men and share this, because I believe in complete honesty and integrity, 100% of the time I would meet them in a Starbucks or some other public place, because the tendency to react to this is typical and you already have enough trouble. So consider these things. If you think this is valuable, go ahead and share this video with other people. You could always put it on Facebook or whatever. You could like it. If you have comments, like we get comments all the time that are more questions, and I'm happy to respond to those. If you would like to talk to one of our counselors via email, go to the website and pull up the counselor contact. That's free. And other than that, blessings. I pray for you. I truly do, that things evolve in a positive way. And I pray for your wife and especially for your children and your family. Okay, God bless.